I'd say my biggest struggle would be confidence, self-confidence, in self-belief, in being able to communicate with people, trying to give an impression of who I was as a person without having to put an act on, which is ironic really, because I'm a drama and a media teacher, so performing comes naturally. But when you have to do that in your professional life and in your social life and personal life as well, it becomes quite a heavy weight on your head and on your body. I've struggled with mental health issues, and I've hidden away for a long time. And I'd say, yeah, my biggest struggle was finding it too easy to find the shadows really. In day-to-day life, I'd find myself not being able to make eye contact with people, not wanting people to ask me questions about myself. So what I'd do is, if I saw that someone else had a problem, I would pounce on that problem and try and help as many people as I could to avoid my own struggles. And the way I've decided to look at it is, I would be selfless to be selfish. So you surround yourself with other people's problems to avoid your own. And it makes you appear strong, it makes you appear massively confident, and it makes you appear everything that you're not. And what it does create is, it creates a feeling inside that is just absolutely soul destroying, because you know that you're so good at this performance that you put on that people have no idea that inside you're just slowly killing yourself really. There's twice in my life I've been in a position where it's got to the stage where I didn't want to continue with my life, and it comes to the stage where I'm lucky that I've got family and friends that mean so much to me, because I've been in the place where the only thing keeping me alive is the fact that my death would cause pain for other people. And it is a really dark place to be, and it's scary. And the last time it happened was January of this year, and I absolutely, without trying to sound ironic, but I absolutely scared the life out of myself, because I actually thought that I wasn't going to see the end of that day, and that petrified me. I think some people would always say that when they're looking for something, they're looking for answers. I don't think I was at that point, I wasn't at the stage where I could look for answers, because I had to kind of almost figure out what the questions were. So my journey starts, or my recovery starts, when I start looking for the questions. So, who am I? I know that seems like a massive question to start with, but who actually, what is my character? What is my personality? Who do I want to be? How do I feel in social situations? What do I like about myself? What do I not like about myself? Ironically, the one where you say what you don't like about yourself is much easier than having to answer what you like about yourself. And I actually found myself in a position where, with the help of a GP and a mental health nurse and counselling, that people who actually started helping me find those questions. And I think that made me more open to change. Probably when I got to that stage of being open to change, I realised that to make a positive change in my character and my personality and in my mental health, I needed to be image confident. I was really struggling in groups of people, and you know, friends of mine who are members at FAST had said that maybe I could be part of a one-on-one or a small group scenario, so my confidence could be built up slowly. I wouldn't be thrown into a massive group of people, but also I wouldn't be sitting in a gym on my own, maybe sitting there, well, I've spent an hour in the gym but actually done sod all. Because I've been there where, as you know, a lot of people have, where you think, I'm going to change my life today, and you get your gym membership, and then, you know, you end up, you've done maybe 6 reps on the chest, and you think, oh yeah, I remember that feeling, oh it's a good feeling, but then 2 days in, you've got a headache or something, and you don't, you know, and you kind of forget to go to the gym. I saw something on Facebook a couple of days ago, actually, something like that. I can't believe I've forgotten to go to the gym today. That's 7 years in a row. And I think that's what can happen with normal gym memberships. And you know, I played rugby all my life. You know, so team sports for me is important, and camaraderie, and you know, since being here, you know, people talk about the FAST family, and you know, without kind of being overly cheesy, it is, because I remember talking, you know, to my coach George about it and saying, the thing I like about FAST is that everyone's got their own reasons for being here, but you don't have to tell people if you don't want to. Everyone knows, everyone acknowledges that everyone's got their reason, and that's enough. No one needs to know anymore, and everyone's happy in the knowledge that we're all in a similar, if not the same boat, basically. And that is a massively comforting thing. It was a big step for me, because I knew for me to get what I needed and what I still need out of FAST, I needed to be honest. And honesty was something I hadn't done for about 16 years, because I've been, you know, hiding my depression and stuff. So, you know, first I sat down with you, and I had to open up, and I had to, you know, if I remember correctly, we had a green tea, and I opened up, and you know, even when I actually opened up and started talking, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders, because it was like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. And you know, your reaction was, well, okay, you know, let's see what we can do to help. And it wasn't a judgment. It wasn't a, you know, it wasn't in someone looking aghast at you saying, oh gosh, you know, mental health issues, oh, I don't know if I can, you know. It was acceptance, which is huge for me. And then, you know, you said you thought that George would be a good fit for me as a coach. So I met with George, and yeah, well, me and George get on like a house on fire. You know, he laughs a lot at me when I'm doing my weights, but that's usually because I'm pulling different kinds of faces. You know, I don't think I'd be a photogenic muscle man, do you know what I mean? Especially, but and that's the thing, you know. I knew with George that I'd be able to, and have been able to, and I think this is a big thing for me, is I've been able to confide in him. And you know, George is mid-20s, but he's got the head of a much older guy, and I think that maturity kind of, he's got the energy of youth, but the maturity of mind to be able to deal with like really difficult conversations. And I'm sure a lot of other people here would agree with that sentiment. I think it's been given a challenge, given targets. You know, when I came here, George asked me, well, what do you want to do? And the first thing I was saying was, I want to work on my confidence, I want to lose weight, I want to, you know, I really enjoy doing free weights and stuff like that. So, you know, we started on stuff like that. I remember my first legs day. Well, I say I remember my first legs day, no, I remember about 2 days after, when I was stuck on the toilet for about 2 hours because I couldn't get up. Yeah. But I know that sounds painful, but it's you know, it's a really cool feeling to know you've actually done a session and that your muscles are actually changing in front of your eyes. But then what George has been able to do is he's been able to introduce me into smaller groups of people as well. So I feel like I've actually got a community around me fast now. I've got people that I independently get in touch with on Facebook, or even with some people, you know, just through text or WhatsApp. And I think outside the coaching, the clients actually look after each other as well. There's two ladies who train with George at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I come in to do some cardio, and I always get the interest because they always laugh at me at the end of their session because they know that I'm going to be doing a similar session that day, and they can see the dread on my face when I'm on the bike, when I can see how tough they've been working, and I just know what's to face me, and we just have a good giggle. And you know, it's nice to be able to open up as well to other people when you feel more confident. And you know, when I've had struggles, so say when I've had to go to see my GP or my counsellor or anything like that, I've discussed that in the gym with George, and maybe sometimes we'll change the session slightly, or we'll do something outside just to like mix things up and just kind of do something new, so you can't concentrate on the appointment you've got coming up. You've got to concentrate on this new thing because it's new. And I think, you know, people will be, you know, are always surprised here because things are changing all the time, and you know, everything's kept fresh. I think 3 weeks ago, a crowd of us, I think it was 18 of us, well, actually I know there was 18 of us because I came 13th, went go-karting. And for me that was like a huge thing because I'm petrified of go-karting. And I was thinking, oh God, I'm going to be spinning off, people are going to be, you know, passing me, and I absolutely loved it. I never thought I was going to love it that much because I've always hated it before. And I know you're going to laugh now when I remind you about it, you know, but when I could hear people coming behind me, you know, I was moving to the side and I was like, yeah, there you go. You know, I was waving people through, and you know, I was probably the most uncompetitive go-karter in the world. But for me, it was so much more than a race, that. And I think after that we went for a lovely meal in Betsacoid afterwards as a crowd, and just sitting with 18 people around the table and just socialising and talking, something I would have really struggled to do as myself 6 months ago. So when I started here, I was 15 stone 9. I'm now 13.5 stone, so it's over 2 stone loss in 11.5 weeks. I'm actually seeing muscles that I've actually never seen before. You know, I feel better, I feel stronger, seeing the difference in the gym. Yeah, and you know, I've just signed up to another transformation because I've overachieved almost to what I expected. But what that's given me now is a hunger to improve myself, and not just in the gym, but the strength that gives me is giving me the hope and the confidence to try and go on and improve myself in other aspects of my life. And I'd say that's the biggest win I've had. Yeah, great about the fat loss and the weight, but you know, I genuinely feel like it's given me a second chance, and that's massive.